the Church of Scientology is so afraid of.
This is SPTV.
Hey, Laura's going to figure out finishing how to add this stream to her channel. Just keep yourself muted, Laura. She can't hear me anyway. Welcome, everyone, to, well, the closest thing we've had to an SPTV Brady Bunch in a few months. Oh, you know what? I was going to say we all have great audio, but I haven't checked Laura's yet. Laura, you got a mic?
I'm on, but I just didn't want to talk because I'm like.
But do you have a mic plugged in there or what?
I got my in-ears, baby.
That's not what I asked. Do you have a mic plugged in there or what?
I'm not going to show you or tell you where I am, Aaron.
I know you don't have a mic plugged in. That's okay.
She's bull baiting you, Aaron. keep it together. You're a pro.
Okay. All right. Center.
Just like breathe in.
She's like
breathe out.
with
No
her
more
showing her gun
tears.
show.
Like, just breathe, Aaron.
Well, I did a little recap about an hour and a half ago with Tommy, just getting his perspective on the thing, the protest on Saturday, and I figured, you know what, let's do a group one. I got to tell you, look, I've never been at one of these protests, and I feel like I would actually be nervous standing outside the Celebrity Center. I get nervous when I drive by L. Ron Hubbard Way. What the hell was that like, guys?
My anxiety pills definitely got worked. I popped a couple to make sure I was okay.
Vanessa, Serge, was that I mean, Serge, I know you generally live kind of near the area. Well, so do you, Vanessa. So do you, Laura. Go ahead.
I grew up on Franklin, so I grew up across the street from CC in the Shangri Lodge, so it was quite layered for me. We moved to Los Angeles directly across from CC, so that was my backyard. And Danny Mustard lived there, and another friend who attended the protest. And I told her, I need you there. So I had quite a few allies and supporters in all different directions, not just the SPTV movement, like you guys, but and all the support, and you, Aaron, like emceeing it and trying to make it all make sense to everybody, because it didn't even make sense to me until I've watched your video, to be honest. Of all the things that we missed from all the streams, it's impossible to watch. Just who has that many hours in a day while trying to, feed ourselves and stuff. But it was incredible, and it was really challenging to do it as someone who I played Becky Thatcher in that garden pavilion when I was 9, and I was like having the words to "I'm not impressed" that Tom Fair taught me, that I like did karate on that stage, and I was actually showing Tommy from the lifeboat. I was like, see that? We used to put food coloring in the fountains because it was literally our backyard, because we were just the kids from across the street, and I got to be there. So it was very odd being on the other side of it.
Well, check this out. Laura shared with me a video. Let me see the best way to put us all on here. And the person who posted this, it's like a collection of awesome photographs from the protest. Maybe, oh, that's a good way to do it. Okay, so the channel that posted this video is Grounded in Truth. And I'm going to keep the sound off, but we can just go through and look at some of these things. No matter which stream I tuned in on, there was plenty of footage of Laura running into the street.
Yeah, there's always gonna be enough of Laura swearing and yelling, and like, trust me, guys, that's
honestly, it was priceless.
So get over
it. Was priceless. I was watching a stream where someone was being so sensitive about the Jane Does, and all I hear is bleep, 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 Scientology at the top of the lungs. And I thought, this is primal scream therapy, because they're already drowning us out with the sound of those trees being cut.
There it is. There's the tree service that just happened to be trimming every tree around the Celebrity Center.
Yep.
And oh my God, I absolutely loved that there were dedicated signs for La Poubelle. Oh, I'm actually going to do a breakout video. Yeah. I'm actually doing a breakout video showing Alexa outside of La Poubelle. And then I was also going to include in that video your guys' conversation from your live stream last night of Laura talking about her talking to Francois Coster. What's the right way to say Francois' name? Is it Francoise? Francoise? Anybody know?
Francois.
It's just Francois, right? But
I
someone told me
found
that.
out today that a friend of mine was their hairdresser for years, that family, actually. I was shocked to hear that.
That's the
No.
security guard who got arrested, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Brian. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
And
also have photos of his wrists that are bleeding and all that from after that.
Yeah. And what did you guys think of was the LAPD there the entire time?
No.
No, so
No, they were
Aaron, when I
hiding behind
pulled up,
Gelson's. They were still there. Somebody texted me when they left that they saw like at least 6 behind Gelson's, even if they weren't there.
Look at this awesome photo. Is this Josh Araminta with the rainbow, the beanie? Do you anybody know?
oh, you know, I'm not sure, but he's friends with the gay pope, and he was there in for the gay pope, or definitely
Yeah.
friends with him. and all
Angry
that.
gay pope.
Angry gay,
The
angry gay
YouTube
pope.
doesn't love those words used together for some reason.
Well, YouTube and me have a very close relationship.
There's just awesome photographs. There's Jeff.
Aaron,
Jeff,
I wanted to say a little about how I felt again with Vanessa in the Shanger Lodge, because I grew up at the Shanger Lodge as well before I went to the Int Ranch as after the ATA and all that. So again, being around just like Vanessa, it's creepy. Like it's so insane how such a beautiful man or such a beautiful real estate property can give somebody the creepy vibes just based on walking around it and walking around Shanger Lodge and being like, oh, the connection. And then also hearing Danny Mustard's talk with Vanessa later and realizing, oh my God, his mom managed the Shanger Lodge and stuff. And that's how the whole connect, and like, ugh. And like, that's where I dropped my mom's keys in the gutter, that I thought I was the worst child in the whole world because all of her post keys were on there. And oh my God, like, so a lot of these memories came up. A lot of you can probably understand why I'm screaming and
Laura,
cussing. It's a psychotic thing.
We tried to go see the rec room to see if it was still the rec room for the kids, because it was always like where all the Scientology kids hung out. I mean, all of them. Tried to go see it, and I saw, oh, someone's coming out. And I like go to come, and this person who looks completely not like anything suspicious. I don't look suspicious. Hopefully, maybe I guess I do. Runs to it and slams it closed.
Guys, is Daniel Mustard's mother Carolyn Mustard?
No, Sue Mustard. She passed.
Oh, someone was asking me that.
He does have sisters.
Let me see. I want to show a little bit more of these things. If there's, what's the right way to look at these? Jeff, I wanted to, Sisha, where's the photo of Jeff? It's so funny. I said Jeff was there to show that pimping ain't easy. It's hard out there for a pimp. There's Karen. There's Jacob Harkey. Jacob showed up. I met Jacob at the courthouse when I was there for the sentencing. And
I met Jacob at the last protest. He's super cool. And I think he is helping, or he definitely donates his time to Eat Predators for sure.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
Yeah, he's super sweet, super cool guy. And I also finally got to meet the Jane Doe, or I got to meet, Chrissy and whatever. That was really amazing because they are exactly who I thought they were. And they're super dope and they're so strong. And like, I just got to know their personalities, and that was really sweet.
That's awesome. Some of these signs are so cool. Did Alexa make most of these? Does anybody know?
Well, there's an option. There's an option with Eat Predators where you can actually download or go on their site and print their signs, and they make these signs that are just really funny and all based off of like their book. As you see, like some of L. Ron Hubbard's bullshit books and things like that.
We had homemade signs. Like
they gifted me the Sea Org contract one the last time we did, and it's a Eat Predators like copy of the Sea Org contract, but it says like eat predatorology.
That was so good.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Here's Laura in the street by herself.
No, I was like, hey, look, it's a green walking light. I have every right to be. And it was really good because the Metro man started doing his honks with us. That was great.
And did you guys spot any Sea Org members?
Yes.
Karen Delatour, she kept being, her and Jeff were like,
There's the
Laura,
fedora.
get out there with your signs. Like, because every time I would go, it would like cheer up everybody. So I was like, okay, fine. I was like, yes, sir. I felt like it was my post. It was my job.
So like these signs are incredible. Look, that what is predatorology? I mean, that's straight up from a really really good play off of one of the old Scientology covers to one of the books. Like, who's doing that?
I
She's
think she
doing
was
Eat
the one that
predators.
Yeah.
Yeah.
she
Their group.
Eat predators.
The group is,
I had
yes.
asked actually the week before. Remember Lara when we were
Might be her husband or whoever.
Lara, remember when we were on the street talking to that security guard on the corner and Odo was
Yeah.
watching us, and then they kind of
Mhm.
like went down the path, and we were like busy discussing matters with the security guards of Scientology ourselves, and I yelled and I said, "Hey, what's that guy's name who got arrested?"
Is his
Brian?
name Nick? Oh,
Brian. Brian was at the end, and I go, "Hey!" He was holding all the signs. I said, "Can I get a sign?" And he comes and he brings it back, and so that was my keepsake because it was actually really sick.
Oh, is that Anne? Is that Anne all the way on the left there? Does anybody know?
I don't know.
I don't
I'm,
know.
I'm not saying her last name just in case it's a problem, but
Oh, I know who you're talking about. You know
Yeah.
what? Could be. I can do a
Could
little
be.
cursory
We'll
look
research.
because
I
I
have
do
no
know who you're
reason to
talking
think that she
about.
wouldn't want me to say her last name. I'm just being prudent.
I'm not sure.
Who's that?
That's Jeff. Pimpin' ain't easy. And Karen, Jeff and Karen were both there. I saw them being interviewed. I showed some of the live stream of Karen being interviewed by Alexa and also Laura being interviewed, where she, the question was simply, how did you find out about this? And Laura's answer was, I found out about it from growing up in Scientology, but honestly, I connected more with Alexa, even though I've never met her. I'm like, how dare you, Laura?
No, Aaron, if you listen to it fully, I say I definitely heard it from growing up in Scientology, but I connected more with Eat Predators about the protests. I started doing way more with Eat Predators on the protest. That's it.
She
So
did.
where did
She
I hear it
texted
from?
me about
Where
it
did
for
I hear
sure.
it from? Aaron, growing up in Scientology.
I'm just busting your balls, Laura.
I know. I don't have any to bust though.
Well, agree to
Wow.
disagree.
technically we all do.
We have metaphorical or not.
I
That's
love
right.
Aaron,
I love
you
all
play
of
with
the
your own
photos.
balls.
I
Oh
love
my gosh, Laura, go easy.
I love all of the photos of the tree
Serge
trimming.
hasn't even like spoken yet, you guys.
Yeah,
He's
like-
being so patient. I wish I
He's
could
not
be.
being patient. He's just enjoying. Look at Serge's sign right in the middle of that group photo. The best sign, I think, that really clearly talks about kids specifically in one sentence.
Yeah.
John Roker was there with a really cool sign too. He was
Who's
the
that?
one. He is a indie film producer. He's pretty well known in Hollywood, and I think I've heard that Bodhi and Jenna have like a personal vendetta against him. He was the guy on the street holding the sign, keeping my spirits up. I swear to you, him and I were talking, and he's like, he texted me. I drove away, and I saw all of them who had left were behind the Gelsons.
Who's this? Anybody know?
No.
Hold on, Laura muted herself.
Name's Cole. I asked him, I actually hung out with him for a long time. Later met up. We all went to dinner after, and a whole group of us. So anyways, his name's Cole. He just heard about you guys through growing up in Scientology, and then he started hearing all the other channels, and he was like, I'm going to this protest. Hell yeah.
Nice. Rocking the Blown
Yep.
for Good merch with the Hail Xenu.
Yeah.
So this is what I found fascinating. They specifically promoted religious services so that they could get you guys shut down with the bullhorns.
Wow.
On a Saturday.
But we
Yeah.
heard that the whole bullhorn thing is also just BS. It's totally not true.
Well, at least some of the people in the live chat were like in California, specifically outside of quote unquote places of worship. Like, and that's why Alexa was like, they didn't even try to pull that outside Nickelodeon. And you go, well, that's because Nickelodeon doesn't have the places of worship protection. But honestly, this poster that we're seeing here, there would never be a poster like that up on any other date.
No, they had
No.
it set up like a standard Celebrity Center wedding.
You couldn't walk on the sidewalk on the front either. They were trimming the trees. It was actual like closed off. We had to walk in the street.
Wow. La poubelle. By the way, someone explain the signs about La Poubelle were in French, and someone told me what they said, and I already forget. Does anybody remember?
All I know is what she was screaming. The one girl
Something
was
like
screaming.
throw out the trash, something
see.
like that in French.
Look, such an awesome sign.
That
Julian,
sign for Julian Schwartz.
so cool. Yeah, I love it. And Tommy was wearing a "Where's Danny" shirt, which is actually even funnier to me than "Where's Shelley."
My friend
Right.
made that by hand.
Really?
Yeah, she made it for, she brought a bunch of stuff over to the house, and Liz and I and my friend, and we met up with Tommy. He came with us, and it was just like super fun. We actually had homemade things that we had like made ourselves and our signs, and it got to be a really awesome day.
It was so cool to see Kendra there. She's someone I've never I should ask her to come on. Has she?
She's not really interested right now, but she's
Okay.
wonderful and shows up when we need it, right? When everybody who we came from, like, I don't think people realize for each of us who are speaking, there's probably 40 who aren't.
Yeah.
Like for the real, Lara knows that. Serge knows that. Liz is new to even being in touch with exes.
Look at that one. Look
It's
at that one.
such
I'm telling Brian,
cool
good
photo.
job for covering for us. And Squee, I was like, thank you so much, man.
And at that point, I felt so sunburnt.
Serge showed up. Serge showed up straight from the playa.
Dude, you looked so Queen Bey when you walked up, Serge.
Yeah, the walk was perfect.
No one has any footage of Serge walking up. Oh, look at that. Okay.
On my live stream, there's him walking up because I saw him across the street, and I'm all.
These
so
really
much
are.
of me wanted to do on the catwalk.
Watch
You
out
do
now.
my little turn on the catwalk.
They're just the best photos. It makes me. What is the Upright Citizens Brigade, you guys?
It's
Is
a
that-
comedy.
That place is just a theater. Like
It's a comedy place that's been there forever, and they do awesome comedy. They've been there since I was a kid. Actually, they've never.
It's
gone out
not one of those
business.
like improv schools or something.
Yeah, I think they have one, but they also have a nightly theater and show and stuff.
You know, I could be wrong, but I think Francois. God, if I have this wrong, I'm going to feel stupid. But I think she might even own like these things that we're looking at here. That's next door to La Poubelle, right?
Yeah,
She might own the whole block. Don't someone can fact check me on that.
she may have bought it. It
Yeah.
started off individually different. That cantina used to be Pritzi's Pizza for the
Okay.
longest time, but
Okay.
there's been changes. But that would be a very, very expensive block for that one person to own.
For sure.
The Bourgeois Pig is closed. The coffee shop, the Bourgeois Pig, that was such a staple there forever. We saw it be closed.
Remember the
Wow.
bookshop? I mean, that was the classic. I wish we still liked books. That was really cool.
Mhm.
Even
Yeah,
I
I
used
thought
to
it-
go to the Bourgeois Pig.
Yeah.
Even Aaron from
I used to buy comics
From
from
Asho.
I wasn't even about that life.
you were at Big Blue, buddy.
No, that was only there was 2 years from like 1998 to 2000 when I was living in LA without really having anything to do with Scientology. But yeah. Okay, let's see what else we got.
a lot of my butt.
All these are original photos. These aren't even repeats. Someone uploaded a crap ton of photos. It's great.
Some of them
stuff.
are repeats.
Oh, are they?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you're right. You're totally right.
Yeah, it was wild. I have so many photos too. I'm going to be putting together some media tonight and putting it on the Gray Zone on the YouTube. So that'll be fun. It's just been like so much to process. And then all of the swarming. It was fun listening to you and Tommy's chat and then having an outside perspective because each of us were going through it when we were there. And I'm in every photo, I'm laughing because I'm like mad dogging because I turned into like my dog Lexi and just started guarding everybody. Like, you're not going to get in here. Get out of here. Because they were so aggressively in everybody's face. And the second I walked away to get some space with another survivor, and I had actually said it on the live to you, Aaron. I said, I'm going to go for a walk. I'll be right back, Liz. That was the moment somebody distracted Tommy, who would have been right next to Lara, or me. I would have been right next to Lara, and that man grabbed your sign. And that was too aggressive, and nothing like that had actually happened as far as like someone trying to touch you. And it just pissed me off that I wasn't there. Sorry.
Yeah.
You were there though.
I know,
in
but
spirit and everything, you were there. You were physically there. If I yelled loud enough, you would have heard me.
Yeah, no, I know. And Aaron was actually on the phone with you.
cool
He
thing
was
about-
on live with you. We have
On the live
witnesses.
stream, right? So I'm like,
it
dude,
couldn't
you're
have gone
screwed.
better, to be honest. It's just that, like, you know, trauma response of like, we're all going through it. I'm on the street where I grew up, and it's powerful as hell. Like, it wasn't scary. It was great, but it's like, I'm in danger, you know, and then I can't leave you in danger.
At the same time, though, I had looked just before this. I looked over to my right and kind of looked and saw Liz is at this one. You know, I saw everybody was with him. And the reason I was alone is because I specifically went up to the man because he was by himself being so creepy. His energy was weird. Why isn't he with us?
Yeah.
You know, why isn't he interacting?
So you were the aggressor is what you're trying to tell. No, I just,
if that's aggressive,
you just
for
didn't,
sure.
you didn't, you weren't afraid is what I mean. And I
was not
assume that you are not afraid, because I know you're not. And if you screamed, you would be helped. But I like to have your back.
Oh, I would have sprinted back.
I wanted us to all stay together, and it seemed like all day there was not a chance to talk because somebody else kept pulling us from each other, and it was just weirding me out. So hearing Tommy say on the feed with Aaron earlier that it was not like a normal protest, that is something I hear in my head, and I have to say to myself, this is not normal, and, you know, talk myself out of it, because I'm like, this is what protests are like. And I'm like, no, it's not. Like, there's not usually people triangulating each victim. Like,
did you guys recognize any Sea Org members, any Sea Org faces?
I did not. I saw quite a few Sea Org members, but I didn't recognize any of them. I thought I saw James Richardson drive by in a white SUV. And so I looked to Laura and I was like, Laura, was that James Richardson? And she's like, who? I'm on security chief, James Richardson. And she's like, I don't know. Yeah. But it looked just like him.
They were on lockdown.
We also had moments of like, Aaron, they were definitely on a lockdown. There were nobody walking around. There was no auditing going on. 100%. It was quiet around the whole building other than the tree trimming.
Yeah, I just love that they left windows open on the other side.
Like, where was the service?
Yeah, they're so full of poop. I also was going to say, like, when people were driving by, even like, you know, they were saying, like, you were saying, is that so-and-so? There were some Sea Org Scientologists, whoever, driving by, pointing at me and flicking me off, like saying, F you to me. And I was like, you're a Scientologist. So that was really fun too, to be like, no, F you.
The cool thing about being able to watch everyone's streams is that the viewers were watching everyone's streams as well. So if I was focused on one, people were in the comments section going, oh, Laura just chased away a cameraman. And then I go to Laura's stream and find it and like queue it up exactly to where it is. I thought you handled that guy perfectly.
Yeah.
So well. Yeah. Especially on the aftermath of what happened last time with you, you know, with the guy that actually did break something of hers. And we had this whole moment where we had to discuss boundaries, and to see the growth from one protest to the next. You do break through those fears and those, you know, trauma responses of fawning, because, you know, that's what we're trying to break through, the fawning that was imposed on us for decades, to be fawns, to be just literally freeze, to be so afraid and fearful. And I think that, you know, the LAPD showing up and trying to intimidate us, it really goes to show how far they're willing to go to protect what's going on in those hotels. And it's not working whatsoever, because all those overreactions are ridiculous. You know, we're not there to cause any harm to anyone. We're there to advocate. We're there to say, you know, there's children in there and they cannot consent. Let's get those children out. There's elderly inside of those hotels that can no longer consent, very much like the children. The elderly get to a point where there's no way they have the strength to fight off these people, and we know how crazy they go in there, so they just become like children. And
I mean, I was a real child getting tiny cans in those hotel rooms. What more do they want? It was really nice to hear the perspective that people were just honking nonstop. Like, it was, for me, why aren't we doing this every single day? Like, it's almost so wild that it's still happening and nothing has been done about it, that when we all got to do it and then see that people care, it was a new experience for us.
Well, to see the public sentiment is already there, right? So we're not seeing it perhaps, but it already is in the street. Everyone that's driving by that street is like, yes, screw these people. Like, please get them off the street. We're sick of it. And, you know, I think that's why these protests are actually effective, because, you know, we put our voice, and, you know, our First Amendment right is something we were never allowed to have inside of the hotel. The minute we crossed that threshold, the First Amendment went null for us inside the hotel. So to be on the flip side, where now we're like, oh, we can say whatever we want and we have the right to say that, you know, it was very scary, but you know, you also lose that fear. I mean, I saw Laura being fearless. I saw so many people being fearless. Even you, Vanessa, even you, Liz. I mean,
I don't think it's even you. I think it's all of us. We're being fearless, but it's just recording the trauma response. Like,
especially when you grew up there. I mean, I can't imagine going to the Fort Harrison, going to the Coachman, going to the Hacienda, where I was kept for 2 years, locked up against my will inside of a disgusting, moldy, rotten, this, you know, apartment in Florida with a real, like, self-admitted disgusting man. So it's those moments that we're, you know, at least lending our face and our voice and making those points.
I mean, Serge, I work at a psychiatric facility, and I prefer to go to work over this because I had an incident, a medical incident last night. I went to work all night. I have not been sleeping well. I heard, you know, a lot of people who are going through trauma, their things are always just like not getting great sleep, which perpetuates the cycle. It's honestly a really hard thing to do when you're going through the trauma. So I think us recording just our experiences is truly the most important part, and not even explaining, just like, this is what we did. We're the kids who were in there. I mean, nobody expects us to do this all by ourselves, but we have been. And I'm so proud of us.
Yeah,
absolutely.
The complex post-traumatic stress disorder is real, and we know that we're not in charge of our feelings as much as we were told inside those hotels. Oh, you can turn it off. Oh, you can just go here and turn it off. It's like that programming is still subconsciously running through us as we show up there and feeling like, oh, I can just turn this off. And then, so there's a lot going on.
I would add to my, you know, me being loud and swearing, a surge right there. I can't control that sometimes, guys. I really can't. You may think it's funny, or, oh, she swears a lot, and joke about it. And even right now, I'm getting emotional talking about it.
But that's why we love you.
It's PTSD that I'm trying to just relieve and figure out on my own. So good. I'm learning it. We learn, but we only learn by going and showing up, you know? So great. I don't care if I swear and all that. I hope you all hate it and go through the process with me, you know?
There's got to be somebody to say, hey, look what happened with Laura, because she couldn't control it anymore.
And it's safe to communicate, and it's the appropriate response. Is the lack of outrage for me.
Yeah, maybe
that's actually what's weird. It's like, you're not outraged. Like, children are just locked up in there, and we all know what they do to them, and we're still here, and it's like nothing changes. Like, why are people not screaming? Like, why are people so complacent and just, oh, well, I guess it's never going to change?
Yeah, and that's a trigger for me. I'm like, you're not screaming, then fucking I'm gonna scream even louder. Like
you're being the change. You know, like, you're beautiful, and that's why I was concerned when your phone died that evening, because
let's get over that, because I also don't want to have the pressure of feeling bad every time my phone dies.
That's my point.
I did feel that way though. I did. From Liz and from you. I love you guys so much, but I also felt like, oh no, now I have to worry about other people's PTSD, which I don't. I just said that out because
no, you never have to worry about our PTSD, because guess what? I don't do things that I don't want to do anymore.
Absolutely.
And I have boundaries, and so does Liz. So when we go to a protest and all day you are the one killing it, literally, and I'm so proud of you and I'm envious of your courage, and then I can't get a hold of you, it's not your fault. I'm just the person who's going to go look for you. I'm not going to be
Yeah,
mad at
I
you
thought someone
if I
inside
can't get a
kidnapped you.
hold of you, but I'm going to go and tease you a little bit and say, I want to make sure that you're okay, because a lot of us never had anybody to do that. And you were in the Sea Org at a very young age. I also knew you as a teenager, and I knew how much pain you were in because you were close with my best friend. So the pain is real, and just being there for each other helps me. And like, I hope that doesn't feel like a weight on your shoulders, but I want you to also know that you can always have somebody who's going to come make sure you have a ride home. Never going to get mad at you if you're not there, though. Promise.
And next time we'll get everyone portable SPTV phone chargers.
There we go. And Laura, just so you know, it was more along the lines of we're a family now, and no one's gonna bleep with my family. And I couldn't chance. I was ready to go all over Los Angeles with no glasses on, looking for someone in yellow. Like, please, she's gonna stick out like a sore thumb.
And we know you don't need us. I mean, I don't think you need us. Like, I
No.
understand that you handled that situation, even with the sign thing. It just gets under our skin, and it actually motivates us to work harder because of the damage that they've done to the people that we care about us, like in our lives. And so to hear you screaming, it's like beautiful to me, but I also want to make sure that you're always safe, not in a weight on your shoulders way. In a like, because I love you and you're precious, and there needs to be a Lara doing that.
Yeah.
Did any of you guys speak to the mayor of Burbank when he showed up?
I did.
Yeah, it was on my channel. I was speaking to him the whole time, Aaron.
I actually had you.
And Serge was right there, right by me. Yep.
So did he mean to come by?
He was driving by and saw it and just stopped.
He said he was going door to door he's the mayor of Burbank, and he wants to be it again. And, he's running for it. So he was going door to door, and he said, what? There's a protest outside of Celebrity Center. And then he was like, he doesn't endorse Scientology, and he knows the mechanism they use to traffic children through their religious status and all sorts of things, which he talked about on the live stream, which was really cool. So I was like, I made him re-say, wait, so you don't what? And he was like, I do not accept or take.
He was very aware about the
Scientology. Yeah, he was very aware of the trafficking and the visas and how we do it. So that was really cool just to hear from a politician by itself. Like, this person on the record on YouTube right now says, I have never and will never and won't accept any money or anything from Scientology.
Well,
knowing they have this.
He's the only one, because he says all manner of other people are actually accepting money, and it really shows us that that's how the corruption works, and that's why this can happen. You know, it happens in Florida and it happens in California. And what's the common denominator? Politicians taking money from these people inside of these hotels.
I mean, after the Rick Caruso, Karen Bass bonanza, honestly, it was so absurd. It was on my commercial. I had to listen to this every day about the Church of Scientology, the Church of Scientology. I'd go out, try to have fun, the Church of Scientology, or that guy, that little guy's on the screen saying, you don't believe me, ask, find out for yourself. And I'm like, ew, get off my screen. But the actual amount of politics having to do with the Church of Scientology, it was actually like unreal. So I don't know anything about any politician, nor do I endorse them when they say stuff about that until I really know, but it is cool if they say that and they mean it. It really is cool.
That is, Laura, I'll probably go onto your stream and excerpt that. If it's like good audio. Have you gone over your own stream? Like, is it a decent?
Yeah, I did it. Yeah, I listened over, the double times too. And actually that part, I'm like right here. And if you even go to Serge's part too, we both have pretty clear audio on two different angles from both of us.
Very cool. That's awesome. That's a much bigger deal than I thought, actually.
Yeah, I kept his thing and everything. And I'm like, if he's going to be the mayor of Burbank, then we got some talking to do.
Wow. Fantastic. Let's zip through some of these super chats and then maybe we call it a wrap. Music Man, the SP Bunch, they all blew and became the SP Bunch. I'm not going to sing it, but David Miscavige has joined the chat. Can't believe I'm late to the SP Fest. Well, you're always welcome, Dave. Laura, can you post your email address? And while you're at it, social security number, please.
It's very easy. LARAFM music. LauraFMmusic@gmail.com.
All right, cool. Christian B, doesn't California have rules over tree trimming? I don't know what that would be.
Well,
the one thing
technically, no, that's a good point. What if,
No, there are rules
had the
about
company
tree trimming.
known, yeah, you're not like tree trim.
Well,
when
they
there's
were a
obviously
hired
protest
company.
of 20 people coming around. That should be illegal. That should be not liable for the company to be able to do that.
Yeah, interesting. Grounded in Truth. Oh, Grounded in Truth is the one who uploaded the video. Love and respect to you all.
Yes.
Love and respect to you as well. David Griggs, keep going back every week. How many times can they cut the trees? Marilyn, so proud of you all. Second gens are a force. I love how you look out for each other and raise your voices together. Indeed. Lisa Donovan, as a former community school director, every state required mandated reports. With Scientology's no reporting from Scientology, why are their children programs still allowed?
Very good question, Lisa.
Absolutely. That's a very good question. Particularly when Scientology tries to use some of its sort of fake social betterment programs to get into schools where there's programs for young children. I mean, the fact that Scientology does not allow people to report crimes against children should be disqualifying.
ABLE.
Yep. Association for Better Living and
Applied
Education.
Scholastics.
Yep. All that
The Way
stuff.
to Happiness.
And as we always go over in those sessions, finding out that information in a session, it's like we had a front row seat at those levels of admissions from the child side and from the perpetrator. And that's indefensible. Like that should have never been anything that anyone in those hotels was meddling in, because that's just ridiculous.
Yeah. Jane, thanks for all you do to help Scientology children. And Fabian, what is the standing of pets in Scientology? Aren't they thetans too? Are there processes? Guys, what was your understanding of this as little Scientologists?
That only corporate execs could have them, like RTC and, Gold, the top echelon, and everybody else was just SOL.
I love how Liz didn't answer the question about the thetans being or spirits, and she just went to, we weren't allowed to have them, just the execs.
So like my stepfather, my little brother's father, he treated dogs better than he treated people because he said dogs are executive thetans who are on vacation this lifetime. And therefore he said, so they're upstats. You have to treat them really well. Now, I think he just said that because he wanted to treat his dog better than he treated his wife, which is absolutely how Frank DiMartino conducts himself. But I wanted to know, because I don't remember a specific reference in Scientology about whether animals have full-on thetans or whether...
No, what I was told as a kid is that they have just theta, but they're not thetans. So they're just theta. And then the other thing that I was told is you're not an animal. That's what psychologists tell you. So don't listen to psychologists, because psychologists tell you you're an animal. You are a thetan. So you're superior than animals. And that's what you should really buy our pitch. Don't you want to be superior than animals?
Here's my question.
Maybe that's where theta potato came from, because L. Ron Hubbard was auditing a potato and found out it was theta.
So I have a quick question.
We just found something out.
I mean, I literally asked a class 8 this, because you guys know I asked, I found the answer to this, right? About animals having thetans, because there's cross references, and this is what Scientology does all the time. It's half word of mouth passed down from the elders, who will give you a little tidbit, like what Serge just said. They're part theta, but not a full thetan. So just like a plant, it has theta, it grows, it has life, but it is not a full thetan. That being said, I also did. So, I like Aaron's face right now. It's just fun. That being said, I also hired a pet psychic who's well known in the Scientology community for helping communicate to the dogs who are dropping the body. I actually worked through a process where I gotten calm with my dog who said, I want to be just like mommy. I want to be a Scientologist next lifetime, and instructed her to pick up a body in Canada. So what's the truth here, folks?
My
It's
mom
also
can help
part
out
of
with
the
that.
for the record, it's the fifth dynamic. No, so that's
It's the
just
fifth
not
dynamic,
that
yeah.
important
I think
in the scheme of
they
8.
just need a touch assist. Although I hate to, I was just laughing really hard by myself. But about the theta potato and just seeing L. Ron Hubbard like, oh, big the potato theta, yeah.
Someone gave me that book as like a funny. It's a second gen. They gave me
also, I
an
do have to
actual
say,
Ron book with him on the cover.
My animals were the most precious thing to me growing up, even if I owned them or not. Like, I didn't own any of the animals that I owned. They were owned by adults technically, but I took care of them, and I had a deep connection with animals, period. But yeah.
Well, I'd say any animal is more of a Thetan than Ben Monahan, so there's something to be said for that. Liz, what were you going to say?
Forgive
I
me,
was just,
Katie. That's her brother.
Go ahead, Liz.
I was just going to say, you know, those of us that have gone to a therapist, I've never heard the words that you're, you know, anything related to an animal, but I will say that that protest felt very cathartic for me. Like there was everything about it, like screaming at the top of my lungs because yes, they took away my bullhorn. So yes, I sound like a dead president. So screaming at them that $40 is not legal. Laura corrected me, it's $45, so my bad. $45 is not legal. I got to scream rice and beans aren't a meal.
Was that your pay a week?
45, I believe so, and some change.
No, that's the standard pay right now, or was when we were in the Sea Org, for anybody that wasn't in lower conditions or under some ethics handling.
If the GI was high enough to cover it in the first place.
If you were upstaffed.
For how many hours would you approximate that you're working?
Over 120
7:30
hours a
to
day.
11:30.
How many hours a week?
7 days a week.
Yeah. So what's 16
really
times? What's 16 times 7?
Something.
16 times.
What about all that free
7
labor? I wonder what
is
they do with it.
112 hours a week. Yeah. Hey, but you had that free food, so you don't have nothing to complain about. Okay?
You mean that amazing rice and beans?
Yeah, the full rice and beans. The only protein you need.
It's funny. One
eggs
time
that came from a carton.
You guys know how dedicated I am to eating. And I remember one time Colin Toffer, I think he was like the base MLO or something. And someone had told him he had to go from org to org and preach about the basics and keeping your roots in. And he's like, who all has missed a meal in the last 6 months? Or who raise your hand if you've not missed a meal. I'm like, oh, I eat. I eat. I'm dedicated.
We can verify because I ordered something and I don't think I got to try it until like I'm just kidding.
I couldn't believe you guys would order so much more
feed
food
him.
than you were capable of eating. You know I'm going to eat it.
Liz feeds me
we were
too.
capable of eating it, Aaron. It just wasn't there by the time we got to it.
Yeah, by the time we got off of doing a project, there was no food left, or there was just bare necessity scraps.
I made a joke and then
Aaron
I felt
was
bad.
like, didn't that taste good?
I felt bad because I made a joke to somebody who then started making a joke. And I was like, I hope Aaron doesn't feel bullied. I was like, if Aaron ever needs a backup career, he can literally be a competitive eater. Like, it's freaking impressive. And they were like razzing you about it. And I was like, no, it's because we haven't had, like, you didn't get that. You deserve to eat every single flavor of life because food is linked to serotonin and dopamine and everything. Yeah. Like, it's
the only
really
way
important.
I can control my caloric intake is to keep food away from me. So
we'll help you.
It's my happy place. Okay, Blake Reed. By the way, Blake, I did get the whorehound candy you sent me. I'm just waiting for the right time to eat it on air. Blake Reed, I love all you guys. I'm still sad I couldn't make it to the protest. I was really burning to go. You guys are all so powerful, brave, and amazing. And to Laura, I'm a new fan of your music. Yeah, Laura and Serge performed together.
Yes.
They're incredible.
Yeah. Faye Senkbeil. Thank you. Oh, Faye Senkbeil's back. My message got messed up. Just sending love, hugs, and great respect for your continued healing. That's awesome. Kitty Lou, I had everyone sign the protest sign. Wait, I had everyone sign the protest sign, Bridge to Total Bankruptcy. Maybe we could auction that off and donate it to the Aftermath Foundation. P.S. Glad to be the snack lady.
Yay. Thank you, Kitty Lou.
Guys, that's
Oh my
a
God.
really,
I was
really good
dying
idea.
of hunger. I was so hungry, and she popped open some turkey, and I'm all, thank you, Jesus.
I ate one piece of cheese and I was like, is this poison? I don't know this lady. But then I was like, I'm very, very hungry. I don't care.
I ate all the grapes.
Kitty Lou, if you want to email me, in fact, I think you did email me, but just so it pops to the top of my inbox, email me again about that idea of auctioning off that sign. I think that's a fantastic idea. All right, guys. Well, I'm glad we did this chat. I wondered, do you guys happen to know if there's any other event already being considered for the calendar, future calendar? Any ideas? Any whispers? Maybe.
Not
Yeah.
yet, but I think it's
Not
going to
a-
be like a monthly thing or hopefully something like that.
Okay.
Predators will come up with something soon. I think they're great as just like the mother, or not the mother, just the kind of, you know, the safety net. They know what they're doing, etc.
Yeah.
There's a part
Awesome,
of me
guys.
that, because I did live in Florida, and my mom was, you know, the LRH comm of flag. There's a part of me that wants the next one to be in Florida so that I can go tell them to kick rocks. Let them know that, you know,
I wouldn't mind that. I lived in Clearwater for a bit.
right? Scream at
What
them.
needs to
What
happen, Aaron?
what
And
dynamic
what,
did you
the
ignore
Clearwater
today?
Police needs a demonstration on just themselves. Clearwater Police, that's right by the Fort Harrison, so we can kill two birds with one stone.
I know a great cannoli spot by the beach.
I'll tell you, the public sidewalk area on the northwest corner of the Flag Building, right between the Flag Building and the Fort Harrison Hotel, was like made for protesting. I mean, it's just a huge public area where all the Scientologists have to walk by. But actually, on the Flag Building, on the other side, is where they line everyone up for the buses these days. So anyway, we'll have to figure it out. But we can fit an awful lot of people there.
You'll be the perfect mapper for that, because
Yes.
and we would love to. We need to know in advance so our tickets aren't $5,000 or whatever.
Aaron's
Right?
going to host us in his stomping grounds.
We can
We'll
all
turn
just
your
crash
house
here,
into a
you guys.
hotel.
Actually, I'm not even
Exactly.
kidding. It could literally,
real.
Okay.
could probably sleep 20 people
We'll
here.
be
just-
there.
Oh my God, it'd be so much fun.
Done.
Holy
We'll take,
shit,
you
that
know,
would be
there's
fun.
one red eye
It's like
overnight to Clearwater from LA. We
Yeah.
all took it all the time, and we'll be doing that.
They call
Yep,
that the
and
SP
then-
Red
You,
Eye.
Aaron.
We'll call it a SPTV sleepover.
They used to call it the OT red eye. Now they call it the SP red eye. Sorry.
Oh my goodness, that is amazing, you guys. Blake Reed, you got my mail. And I mean this in the best way possible. Laura, your voice is very diamond. Is that a word? Is that a typo? What does that? Does that mean something?
Diamond Galas. I love her. She's an artist.
You're muted.
Sorry, I
Laura.
was on mute. Yes, thank you, Blake Reed. That is the best thing to tell somebody who's not interested in getting vocal lessons.
All right, guys. Well, thank you for hanging out with us this afternoon. This has been a lot of fun. And thank you, as always, to everyone who watches until the very end. And we'll talk to you soon. Bye.
Okay, if you want to see my rock and roll songs, click right on this guitar. And if you want to see a different one of my videos, then you could click right inside here. If you have subscribed or not, subscribe right